So the first thing we're going to do is what you should do every single game, is assess the lane. I'll turn this into another little mini game. I'll be playing into Kai'Sa Taric. So I'll give you about 10 seconds to think about what we should be careful for and what we should look out for in this matchup. Okay, time's up. So the biggest thing in this matchup that we need to look out for is the Taric stun. Getting stunned, obviously not good. We need to actively be looking to dodge this stun at all points of the game. This should always be at the back of your mind. Dodge the Taric stun. Kai'Sa is really good at long extended trades, especially when they have lethal tempo. Her passive has like, if you get hit 5 times, she gets a bonus burst damage. And Taric is a healer, so he'll keep Kai'Sa alive quite long. This means that long trades in this 2v2 are not good. If we can't kill them in a fast win, we are losing for sure. Taric ult is horrible to fight in. Don't ever really fight in a Taric ult, you just want to run away. There's not much you can do about it. Also like to mention that Taric is probably one of the hardest champions to face as Samira, but that is also a cooldown that you have to track, you have to keep in mind. If they're Taric ulting here, we should not keep fighting. Watch out for the Kai'Sa Qs, watch out for the Kai'Sa Ws, and it is pretty much the matchup. So in our own lane, we are Samira Blitzcrank. And this is also something you have to assess. You have to assess your own synergy with your support. What is realistically our game plan? Luckily with Blitzcrank it's very easy. He hits a hook and we probably go in. But you have to keep in mind, like I said, we do not win the very long extended trades. So our gameplay could maybe look like we go for a hook, we go for a short burst trade and we just walk away. And then we re-hook when they're like half health and then we can win. So we end up invading, we didn't really get anything, but my Blitzcrank is a little bit late to lane. This pretty much automatically means we don't get the level 2 first. And level 2 advantage is massive in bot lane. If you don't get level 2 advantage first, you want to be running away. You want to be running away. It doesn't really matter that much here because we're already pretty much in a safe spot, which is just good positioning. But I guarantee you a lot of you lose lane level 2 because you weren't aware that they were going to hit level 2 and you weren't. It also goes the other way. If you hit level 2 first, you can maybe look for an aggressive all-in. You can then maybe have the Blitzcrank go for a hook and then you fight while you're level up. Something you have to look at pretty much always every single lane. Who's getting level 2 first? Can we punish them if we get level 2 first? Or do we need to run away here? Here we did not hit level 2 first, so I'm standing far back in a safe spot. And a lot of Samira lanes will kind of be this way. You can look for trades depending on what your support is. Here, when I have a Blitzcrank, I'm not going to be Eing in randomly, right? That doesn't sound good at all. I'm Eing into a Taric Kai'Sa, that sounds like a grief. So mostly my gameplay here is waiting for a Blitzcrank hook. But if we had, for example, Nami Samira, then I would be playing up way more aggressively, going for these auto attacks, because then we're 2v1 ranged versus range plus melee, if that makes sense. With a melee support, you rarely want to walk up for actual auto attack trading, even more so when they have double ranged. Because when your Blitzcrank is sitting next to you, he can't really do anything. Well, they can double ranged attack you, which normally would be very bad trades. So when you do have a champ like this, very often you're just waiting for a hook. You're waiting for the Blitzcrank to either walk up and E, or you're waiting for him to hook someone towards you. And if you're a bit lower elo and your support doesn't go for hooks, or he doesn't walk up and you want him to walk up, you have to ping them. I understand that some of you are playing like gold, bronze, and you're like, okay, my Blitzcrank doesn't hit a single hook. He doesn't do anything. He's sitting there AFK. Well, you gotta just ping him. Do like the all-in ping. Go, go, go. Maybe type to him, hey, buddy, just run up and press E. If you can win. So here the wave crashes and the Taric actually walks away, probably going for a ward. This would be a very good spot for us to punish the Taric going away. So I immediately go in and I try and punish. Blitzcrank tries to follow up, tries to hit an E. It just barely doesn't reach. He flashes. We unfortunately missed the hook. But little small moments like that, you can actually punish quite hard. If we hit that hook, we probably get a free kill. Flash is down now, that's pretty good. Here they shoved out their wave, and we're pretty much just holding the wave. Basically just setting up a freeze. It's as simple as don't kill their minions, hold them while they kill off your own minions. Eventually we break the freeze, push in the lane and reset and buy some items. Because if you stay too long and you don't buy items, you're gonna lose a fight. You want to get strong enough for like an all-in for the dragon fights, so don't sit on too much gold. Pickaxe and 2 longswords over Dirk and Cloak, because Cloak is a bad component. So we actually end up hitting a hook here, and you can tell, like I said earlier into the video, you always have to keep the stun in the back of your mind. I follow up, but I walk away out of the stun. After that you could look to re-engage when the stun is out of the way, but my Blitzcrank is pretty far back, and I don't really know if we even have the damage to still win as they have exhaust, they have barrier. I'm not level 6 yet. If this was level 6 into level 5, I would go back in for sure. But we can wait for a better spot. So I took a bad trade and actually reset, got my Dirk, and the Blitzcrank got into a really good spot where they don't see him. The Taric is basing, And we pretty much just hook the Taric for free. One tip here I can give you is don't run straight at the Taric. Like, you want to avoid letting them know that you're going for this, or that you see them for as long as possible. Here's like an example. This is the bot lane. These are the bushes. Imagine someone's basing right here, but they're on a ward, and you're here. This person will very often try and greed stick their base. They're hoping you don't have vision. They're hoping you're gonna walk past them, especially if it's already late into the base. But if you walk directly at them, they're gonna be like, okay, wait a minute. He knows I'm in there. But if you just walk this way, and then do this last second, they're gonna greed stay, they're gonna like try and stick their back, even though you had vision all along. But now you're already, since you're now here, without them realizing, it's too late for them to walk away, because now they're already in a bad spot. While walking directly at them puts them on alert, makes them walk away. That's a small, like, in general, league tip. So this is actually a pretty crazy hook, and normally I would go for this and all in with a fast combo, but I know the Taric is pretty much right behind, so it's a little bit too risky to full commit to diving this, because I also know the Kai'Sa has barrier, and that the Taric could be back literally any second, which he is. So I do go for a trade, but I don't fully commit to just diving there. I think if I would have gone for that, it would have been pretty bad, because, as I said, the Taric is in fact right behind her. So next up is actually a really interesting fight. This is pretty much 10 seconds later. We are quite low, so it's a little bit risky, but the Blitzcrank seems to want to go for like a hook play here, out of vision. Ease the Taric. I get a passive proc. I hit a Q to build a stack. And it's actually important, I don't W the Kai'Sa W, and then use W into an EW for 2 stacks to get enough for ult. And in this spot, which is actually really interesting, the only play Taric realistically has here is flash away from my ult. So I actually flash away before he flashes, pretty much a pre-flash, so that even when he flashes, my ult is still going to hit him. And it's just barely enough to kill him before the ult lands. Barrier the Kai'Sa damage. Very close. And pre-flashing is something you can do very often. You can do it for CC if you think CC is about to like come out. You can predict people's flashes. Because if he flashes out there, and I miss like let's say one shot from my ult, we probably lose that. So the pre-flash was a pretty good decision there. And I also think a good decision was not Wing defensively for the Kai'Sa W. I actually hate using W defensively most of the time, because I like using it as an aggressive stack builder. Don't get me wrong, if there's an Ornald flying in my head, I'm gonna press W. But I'm not gonna do it for like one random Kai'Sa W when I need it to all in. Next up is a bunch of interesting events and decision making. We hook the Taric here. He Taric ults, and I said earlier in the video, if Taric ults, you just don't win. So we run away. It's also just a free Taric ult. But now if we can fight because the Taric ult is down, that would be pretty good. I'm hovering this in case Mbessa ults. But we get TP'd on by the Ornn. So we disengage. W the Ornn ult, because I mean, like I said, I'm gonna W the Ornn ult. It's good value. Just walk to safety. My Blitzcrank gets knocked up, and he dies. Pretty much a 1v4 there. Not really much else we can do. The Mbessa wants to go back in, so I do hover the Mbessa. I don't think this is a good fight though. 2v4 seems a bit risky. They go for the Taric here, but I have to sidestep the stun. I could E towards the main here, but I do think it's very risky to do that. We don't know where the Silas is, he could still be right around the corner, so could the Ornn. And if I E forward and the Taric, for example, flashes or I don't get a reset, then I am 100% dead with no counterplay to do anything. We end up killing the Kai'Sa and the Taric, which is pretty good, so then we're in a 2v2, but this is a pretty bad 2v2. I'm very low, but I'm trying to help my Mbessa. I kind of waste my barrier, we do kill the Silas, and this is a bit of a weird spot. In my mind, I'm never making it to the Vel'Koz. I think my only play is to E and get as much distance as possible. Unfortunately, the Nasus has flash. But overall, considering our top laner wasn't here and theirs was, this wasn't that bad of an outcome. Going even in a 4v5, not that bad. And I got 2 kills. 2 kills is nice. Quick little break, if you think these videos are helpful, consider subscribing because they take a lot of effort to do and a lot of editing, so I would appreciate it. Also, if you have any suggestions of a video that you would want to see specifically about anything Samira related or bot lane related or League of Legends related, feel free to let me know in the comments so I can start working on it. Okay, back to the video. Vel'Koz took the bot lane turret, so now we rotate towards mid lane. Blitzcrank hits a nice hook on the Nasus. We kill him and we turn it into a mid lane turret. One thing that is pretty important, that in spots like this, and in spots where you are following up on engage close to a turret, when you passive dash into an E, very often you'll be in turret range. So you can see that I instantly path out of the turret as soon as I did my burst damage. It also gets me more safety away from the Kai'Sa and the Sylas who are right there under the turret. So we took the turret of the Nasus kill, Blitzcrank goes for a hook, you get Silas eat. This doesn't really look like a good fight. The Blitzcrank is pretty much insta-dead. We did hit a nice knockout, but I didn't really want to go for that. The Silas leaves, so I re-engage for an aggressive trade on the Kai'Sa, and then the Silas comes back. Taric gets a nice flash stun. I flashed away from the Silas Q, and we end up killing the Silas in pretty much a 2v1 there at the end. And I guess the lesson there is that, and it could have been that the fight earlier would have been good and it could have worked out, but they could have had a Taric ult. The Blitzcrank missed his hook, so that's already not a good starter. And even though it could have worked out, I just wanted to show this example because especially if you're playing in the lower elos, you probably very often have a support or a jungler that makes a really bad engage. And sometimes you can double up on a bad engage and turn it into a good engage, but you also want to sometimes just give it up. If that was bad, if it was horrible, and you probably most likely don't get more than you would lose, then just don't go for it. Especially if you have a bounty on you, for example. Like, you gotta pick your fights smartly. Is that a word? Smartly? I don't know, it is now. Pick your fights smartly. There you go. Don't just be like, okay, this guy hit engage, I'm going in. You gotta do like a risk to reward assessment, I guess. And I thought that fight was too risky for what we would maybe get out of it. This is another quick tiny example of pretty much what I just said. We had a hook on the Silas, but this is a 2v3. No one on our team is close. Realistically, I'm never going in here, so I just cried away. You might be like, oh, the Taric stun's out the way, the Silas is out the way. If conditions were different, if they were squishier champions, and they've used more, and I could one-shot the Silas, then of course I'm going in. But here I should not. End up rotating to tier 2 top, because those are worth a lot of gold. Then I rotate back towards mid, where we actually end up being in a fight. Then we use the Taric ult, which is massive. Now the fights would be a lot more favorable. Taric ult out of the way. I engage on the Kai'Sa. I sidestep the Taric, stun with a really nice sidestep. Pretty much just hitting whoever I can here. Try and finish the Nasus. I can't. Hit the Taric. He runs away. We hook the Nasus back in. I kill the Nasus. Pretty nice sidestep there on the Taric stun. And if you're watching this and you're like, okay, but I can never play this way. I am not good enough to like sidestep these stuns. A lot of it is just realizing that it's even in the game. As long as you go into this game knowing that in every fight there will be a Taric stun coming out, the sidestepping will become a lot more like easier because it will be on your mind constantly. Like, knowing what you're playing into is so important. This is actually right after the last fight and I don't have my cooldowns yet. I'm just trying to take down the turret so it doesn't screw us in the fight. Just use my barrier because I'm gonna need it. Kill the Taric. And W is still up because I didn't use it yet, because it wasn't up at the start of the fight. The Kai'Sa flashes forward, I still have W, and I end up killing the Kai'Sa. That fight was pretty much just a hit what you can type fight. The Silas got flinged on me, so I hit the Silas until he died. Taric was half HP, I go into the Taric. I then eat towards the Ornn though to do get some distance from the Kai'Sa, and then I W the Kai'Sa Q. Pretty much all the decision making from this fight. Not really too complicated. Not every team fight is some rocket science, massive combo deluxe play. Very often you just hit what you can. Turning kills into objectives is also really important, guys. You see me do it throughout the video. We kill bot, we take the turret. We kill mid, we take the turret. We kill him here, we take Akaton. Try and get the most from a kill as you can, even if it's just like little chicken camps. Don't overgreed though, use your brain. But try and deny the enemy as much as possible and take as much as possible. Buying a full orthotics here because it lines up well with the gold. Normally you would want your tier 2 boots here, but this is such a big spike that I'm willing to delay my tier 2 boots. Here the enemy team is super overextending, trying to kill the Singe. The Singe actually lives on like 1 HP. Really bad for them. We end up collapsing on them. We kill the Taric for free. I end up flashing on the Nasus for no other reason but I just wanted the kill. Which is not a good reason, it's a waste of flash. Don't flash for kills that are already secured. You need flash, it's important. That was really bad by me. Blitzcrank is getting 1v1. I'm on the way to save him. Boop. And Beza's chasing after kill, so I just do the dragon on my own. After the dragon, the Blitzcrank wants to go for a hook play. This is not really a good play, I should have just pinged him away. We do end up killing the Ornn, I believe. I do have a nice sidestep again, but this is overall not worth. We kill the Ornn, but I give a shot down to Kai'Sa. And that comes again down to picking your fights smartly. I should have just left, and I should have not wasted my flash. Another fight breaks out bot lane and kill the Kai'Sa for free. And a lot of that will be your Samira gameplay. Head towards the fight. You won a team fight, you're a team fighting champion. So here we actually end up in the Baron fight, and I don't really know what I was supposed to do here. In my mind I'm trying to like lower our chances of losing the Baron by Wing the Silasy, but indirectly I now didn't W the Ornn ult. I lost my entire health bar. I think maybe I should just play it for the fight, not really the Baron itself. My team luckily still wins it, but I'm pretty useless here because of the way I played it. I am still hovering it just in case I can do something, but yeah, that was not good by me. Although, I don't know, I feel like Wing the Sidesteps to try and make sure he has less burst to steal the Baron is not that bad of an idea, but it didn't work out. Here's another good example of, yeah, you guessed it, picking your fights smartly. We hit a hook here, but this is too close to the rest of the people, and the Silas has an hourglass. So this is way too risky to commit. But then later, legit 5 seconds later, we get a nice little knock-up, and this is a free kill. We picked our fight smartly. Yippee. And then a few seconds later, we do not pick our fights very smartly again. I try and kill the Taric here just before the Taric ult comes down, but we're just dying here for blue buff. My Abessa was not here, my Singe was not here. Not a good fight. We did not pick it smartly. And that's also the problem, or not the problem, that's just the way Samira works. Once you're in there, you're really in there. So if you can't win the fight, you're kind of just inting, because we have no way to get out if we don't get a reset. So a lot of it does come down to decision making and picking the right fights. From base, I directly path back into the danger, pick up a free kill, and then join my team who's in their base. Build some stacks off the front line, the Ornn, Kai'Sa jumps in, do a W into an EQ W combo to get an ult on the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa dies, I get Ornn ulted in the mouth, kill the Taric, E input bug on the minion, unlucky. Works after spamming it, kill the Ornn, and we pretty much just win the game here. Alright, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to let them know in the comments, and if you thought it was helpful, consider subscribing, it helps me out a lot. Thank you!